Hey guys, it's Kim and Aaron with the Arc Meeting Now, and we're back with another episode of Will You Accept This Rosé, where we break down everything that happened in last night's episode of The Bachelorette.
We are drinking a band of roses because there's already guys that are rapping, dancing, playing guitar for her, and honestly, there's always going to be a lot of roses. So, a band of roses it is.
Cheers. So the season premiere starts out with Hannah finding out that she's the next Bachelorette, and also it's just a bunch of footage of her taking Chris Harrison around Tuscaloosa and saying Roll Tide like 1,000 times.
And there's a lot of awkward poses that she has to do, and she's very upfront with the fact that this is an awkward situation. She's like, I don't know what to do with my hands, where should I look, which is absolutely valid, because I wouldn't know what to do either.
So we've got a lot to break down, so let's move on to the guys. Tyler C. My Guy is the first guy, and they show him he's like a contractor guy. He's doing construction, all of a sudden he's like dancing around. He's 2 credits away from getting his minor in dancing, apparently.
I don't know if he was trained to be a ballerina or a stripper, because his shirt comes off at one point, and he's dancing around and like doing weird things to the miscellaneous wood pieces that are lying
he's
around.
He's like hanging onto the planks and just like tilting his head back and just like
pretty sure it's Magic
hips.
Mike. It's his audition for Magic Mike. He's not auditioning
so
for Bachelorette. It's an audition for Magic Mike.
It's because he's hot. I think it's just because I think he's so hot. Like, it's okay. His dances they're excusable, but like probably should have just gotten those 2 credits to like make yourself like a little bit better at this dancing. So next up we got Luke P, Aaron's favorite guy. Basically like a super hot guy. He knows he's hot. He knows all the women think he's hot. Banged a bunch of chicks until like one day he was taking a shower and like had a conversation with God.
Literally says that. He has all this soap happening and he's in the shower and I'm like, is this a parallel to Colton season when there's so many shower scenes? I literally cannot take another shower scene.
It'll probably happen anytime he needs to have a conversation with God, because apparently that's the only time that he's
the intimate spot for him is in the shower. And then we have Matt Donald. He is so cute. So I don't know where he's from. I think he's from Texas. It doesn't matter where he's from.
No.
But
sweet guy.
The cool thing about his story is that he is the only person in his entire family that isn't deaf. Just seems like really genuine. I really enjoy him as a person.
So Hannah arrives to the mansion and she's talking with Chris Harrison before she meets the guys, and he's asking her what her type is. She says she's only dated Southern gentlemen, but it hasn't always worked out. So he's like, you know what, just try a bunch of flavors. And she's like, I'm a confetti cake. I'm sorry, but can we not refer to people as flavors? So the entrance is now. Obviously have a virgin joke and a fence jump, which was like inevitable because she's on Colton season, has to have a Colton reference.
It's a sign of devotion apparently if you're a virgin and you jump a fence.
And then we have the Box King. He jumps out of, what do you know, a box.
A box! Peanuts everywhere. Just like, literally just like poof.
He's like, Hannah, my package isn't complete without you.
Oh yeah, and then she was like, I'm the full package.
There was also like 2 pilots in the entrances. One was smart enough to wear his uniform. The other was like, he saw the guy and he's like, oh crap. And then we also have Matt Donald, who shows up in a tractor and he's singing like a song to Old MacDonald, but it's like a...
I'm Matt Donald, and I'm really nervous. There's a bro here, bro there.
Everywhere, bro. Speaking of singing, we also have Cam that came back and did another rap. Honestly, I think he's confused. I think he has Hannah G and Hannah B confused, because Hannah G was the rapper, and he's like still going on with his rap.
The rap by itself is actually pretty fantastic. Like the lines are pretty like well put together, and it's catchy. But then it comes out of his mouth, and you're like, it's done. I can't do this. I don't like it. He's lame.
I think it was the part when he said he was spitting bars like Willy Wonka.
That's when he became like, super white.
Yeah. So of course we have to talk about John Paul Jones, who made it very clear that his friends, his family, everyone calls him John Paul Jones, so call him John Paul Jones.
And he's employed at John Paul Jones. We don't know what he really does. I have an issue with him on so many levels, but the most high level is the fact that he looks like either the guy from 3130, the creepy boyfriend.
Oh, he's definitely a sleazy hockey boyfriend.
Or he's John Smith from Pocahontas. Or he's Prince Charming from Shrek 2.
Honestly, I think the worst entrance was the guy who showed up with a hot dog in his, or it was like a hot dog or a sausage in his mouth. And
Some sort of wiener.
I'm about to go to... We're about to go to a sausage fest, so like I brought this gallon of freaking mustard.
Ew.
And
I thought his name was Greg. It's Grant, but he looks like a Greg. He's unemployed.
Facial hair, yeah.
He's unemployed.
You can tell he's unemployed.
Yeah, he just looks disheveled. I'm like, your name's Greg.
Let's also talk about Luke P again and his growling.
Oh, I love Luke.
I know you love him, but like after the growling, really?
Yeah, he just looks like a lion to me.
He did it because of the whole Hannah B thing, but he's like, I'm the king of the jungle and I want you to be the queen of the jungle. Come on.
I really don't like that. It was super unfortunate, but she was into it.
So before the night even begins, Hannah B like stands off to the side after she meets all the guys and like says a little prayer that like she's gonna be like smart and witty and like feel worthy and stuff. Like she's praying that she can finish a sentence, and like lo and behold, she does, and she actually like does a good job of making a toast.
Yeah,
so,
proud of her. Thank you, Miss Alabama, for doing your job.
So Hannah starts talking to the guys one-on-one, and Katie and Demi show up. They're like in this van, like in the middle of like the mansion, where like if any guy wants to like take her out and stuff, like they're gonna see the van. And be
yeah,
like,
they're trying to be sneaky, and it's like not incognito because it's in the middle of the parking
literally
lot.
right in front of the mansion. I guess like Demi had gotten a text about one of the guys on the show. He like had a girlfriend, and like she's just like looking at the camera all of a sudden. She's like, oh, it's that guy. How are you supposed to know? First of all, that's the guy that has
that's
a
Big Brother
girlfriend.
happening, aka the Bachelorette producers.
But either way, it gets to Hannah that this guy has a girlfriend. She's like, come on, like the way you jerk your dog on a leash, like when you're like taking him for a walk and they're like stopping, like smelling something, and you're like, come on, like this is her to that guy.
He says like we were never officially boyfriend and girlfriend.
AKA he ghosted her and went on the show. Your girlfriend's probably watching at home this, and she's lighting all your shit on fire right now.
Yeah, everything's burned. That home is burned to the ground. He's basically gaslighting her, and he's like, well, sorry that I've dated people in the past. Like, if you're upset with me because of that, that's fine. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not even remotely what I'm saying. And he's like, well, you dated Colton only 2 months ago. So it's the same thing. And she was like, no, it's not the same thing. Like, you need to go. And so she's escorting him out, and he's like not following her. He's just like randomly like running away. And she's like, come on. Like, again, with the dog jerking
very
kind of
stern,
thing.
yeah.
He's very stern. And then
very,
he just
like,
bon voyages, and bye, Scott.
Moving on to the rose ceremony. The one that sticks out to me the most is John Paul Jones. They showed his little interview, and he's like, you know what? I turned down a job promotion at this. You work at John Paul Jones. What promotion did you turn down at your own company, John Paul Jones? But he's most pissed because he's like, I don't want to tell my friends and family that I only came out for a couple days and like barely got to spend time with Hannah, and like I'm already going home.
He's a misogynist, and I dislike him a lot.
Oh, so
I really don't like him. At the end of the rose ceremony, Chasen, who's the pilot that didn't wear his uniform, goes home. And then Matt Donald went home, which I thought was super sad because he was so genuine. Like, he's...
It's like another grocery store Joe where like he got someone the first time and you're just like wondering why.
Box Keen leaves, which is great, you know, package him up and ship him out.
He's in transit back to Chicago right now.
Bye, Joe.
So the first impression rose went to Luke P. And usually in Bachelorette world, that means that they're going to be the guy that ends up winning the whole thing. But I don't know. Who do you think your front runners are?
Definitely Luke P. I think Tyler C. I think Connor S.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Peter, the actual pilot who wore his uniform, I think he's actually, I feel like he's going to win.
Not going to lie, I think so too.
It's the quiet, nice one.
So that about wraps up this episode of Will You Accept This Rosé. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at OCN Rosé Reviews, where we'll be live tweeting every Monday. Also be sure to follow us on YouTube at OCN Videos. We'll have our videos there every week. Stay tuned for next time. We'll see you next week. Cheers.